The most thoughtless of all, and the absolute best. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I just lost 15 pounds really quickly and without being hungry. And I know that sounds crazy. It felt crazy to me too, hence I'm making this video to tell you about it. I'm gonna give you the 7 lessons I learned on how to do it, and the last 2 are exceptionally easy hacks, so stick around. But first, let's just see the transformation photos. That's what everyone wants. Here's me before, and then here is me after the weight loss. Here are some more comparison photos, and of course I had to do a triumphant studio shoot for the fittest I've ever been. I went from 134 down to 119. And there it is on a graph, because that's fun, a math drawing of my success. If you can't tell by the photos or me flexing here, I didn't just lose weight, I lost fat, not muscle. Now here's my most recent ZozoFit scan and another graph. I do love graphs. My total body fat loss from the fattest I've ever been was 6.6%, so now I'm at the least fattest I've ever been. And that is my first tip. Track your fat loss, not just your weight loss. You want to get leaner, not just scrawnier. You can use ZozoFit like me, where you use the suit and there's this app that you can scan from your phone. Their app even works now without having to put on that awesome looking suit. I'll give you a link to download ZozoFit below. I scan once a week, but there's also another option called DexaScan, which I would not recommend weekly because it's expensive and also radiation, but I still do them occasionally, especially after a big phase like this where I cut or bulked. So here's my most recent DexaScan. It says I'm 22% body fat since the last time I scanned 2 years ago, so basically I haven't lost any lean tissue, aka muscle, aka gains. But now I know I have lost 4.6 pounds of just fat, and if I was looking only at the scale, I could have lost a bunch of muscle and thought I was on the right track. So you have to track to know that you're on the right track to get jacked. Which leads me to my second tip. Focus on adding muscle first. The thing that helped me lose weight so rapidly and easily is because I actually bulked or reverse dieted and sped up my metabolism before trying to cut weight. And this was a huge revelation for me and the whole reason that I wanted to make this video, because it took me forever to figure this out, and then I was like, what? Why didn't someone tell me this sooner? So this is me telling you this sooner. Okay, we should talk about the definitions of bulking and reverse dieting. So you may have seen my bulking video where I tried to gain weight and failed miserably for over a year. I was actually accidentally reverse dieting and I didn't realize it. So bulking is when you try and gain weight to increase your muscle size and strength. Since both of those are going up, you're also wanting the scale to go up. Now reverse dieting is like bulking in the same sense. You're eating more, but you're slowly adding more calories, and the point is to get your body to adapt to eating more while minimizing the weight gain, so scale not go up. Before my bulk, I was eating about 1,800 to maybe 2,100 calories a day and plateaued and not losing weight. So I started eating more and I got up to 2,500 calories a day, but I still wasn't gaining weight. What? My body adapted and started torching the calories I was eating, and finally I had to get up to 2,700 calories a day before I started gaining weight. And that is a lot of calories for an
admittedly small person,
even though I pretend to be big on this channel. And even when I was at 900 calories more, it was still slow weight gain, and I definitely felt like I could have eaten more and my metabolism would have continued to adapt. So good job, body. But then after bulking, I dropped down to 2,300 calories and the weight just melted off, which didn't feel like it made sense, because before the bulk, 2,100 calories, which is less, would not come off of me. I couldn't lose fat, and it's because my body had also adapted, but in an annoying way, you stupid body. It was trying not to burn more than I ate because I was plateaued. But when I taught my body to burn more by reverse dieting, suddenly 2,300 calories, 200 more than I was used to, still made me lose weight quickly. So I basically took advantage of this adapting that your body does to make it work for me. Haha, I'm just manipulating you without you knowing. So please consider reverse dieting if you're training and dieting and stopped getting anywhere with it. And this is me speaking to my former self. But if you're earlier in your journey and at a point where it wouldn't be healthy to gain weight, you don't have to do the bulking part. You can just focus on adding muscle. Starting to do resistance training and having more muscle will speed up your metabolism and have the same effect as my reverse diet. But still, again, you are manipulating your metabolism. Wahaha. It is crazy to see me before my bulk, this is me at my plateau, not able to lose weight, compared to me after my bulk when I'm eating 200 calories more and shredded. Of course, I did have to go through the bulky Allie stage in between, but it was surprisingly pleasant. I thought I would hate being bigger and eating 2,700 calories, but it was exceptionally tolerable. I liked being able to lift more, and then being able to shed the weight easily was mind-blowing. But put your mind back together, because that leads me to number 3, quick is relative. My weight loss phase was a total of 25 weeks, but compared to the year and a half it took me to gain the weight, that's pretty darn speedy, and extremely speedy considering the years I was plateaued at my 2,100 calorie look. The hack of getting my body used to eating more and then dropping back down again felt like a super fast transformation, especially because I was losing weight by eating more and not hungry or wishing my diet was over or being an a-hole to everyone. Though based on mathing, if I was eating 400 calories less every day, that would mean I'd burn an extra 3,500 calories, which is 1 pound, every 8.75 days. So almost a pound a week. And I actually lost more like half a pound a week, so that is half of what the math told us. So this is a bonus tip. Calories in, calories out does not work. Your metabolism responds, which if you recall, that's been a huge point in this video. So you cannot just math and assume it will all come out exactly as planned. And that's actually a good thing when we're talking about reverse dieting. My metabolism speeding up to match my intake is what allowed me to eat more and not gain weight. So just know that your metabolism doesn't believe in math. But back to my quick weight loss is relative point. The reason this recent transformation feels really fast is because I've been working on transforming for 9 years now. This is me 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 7, now 6, then 5, 4, 3, 2, and this year in the same spot, same mirror selfie. Years 5, 4, and 3 all look very similar. I basically plateaued for 3 years. Then on 6, I finally started to bulk. By the time we got to year 9, there is a marked difference from year 4. But that's 5 years! And figuring all of that out over 9 years is a lot different than getting lean in 25 weeks. Ugh, my cut was so speedy. So hopefully my 9 years of fails can help fast track you. And if you're just starting out, look at my 1 to 2 years. It's the biggest transformation I've ever had. Newbie gains are real. When you first start out, you can easily lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. Oh, do I love multitasking. But by the time I'd been training for 5 years, that no longer works. And I had to trust myself to bulk and then lose the weight after. And yes, it took me 6 years to convince myself to trust myself. So again, if you are at a point where you've trained for a while in a caloric deficit and plateaued, it is time to get bulky. And I am jealous of all of you who have not touched weights yet because your progress will not take patience. You can just start training without having to think about bulking and enjoy those newbie gains. By the way, I have been only touching weights and doing nothing else for about 2 years, and I want to give you a quick sidebar about my upcoming journey. I'm about to start touching cardio. I got new running shoes. Let me just elegantly unbox these as usual. These are my new Mount to Coast R1s, and yes, they were cool enough to hook me up with mismatched pairs. Let's go! So the reason I love these and why I wanted to tell you about them is because of a wide toe box. You know that I love promoting a natural foot shape. I'm basically trying to have cave person feet. Oh, that feels great. Look how wide that is. I'm wearing toe spacers in these right now, which is insane for a running shoe. Usually running shoes just crush your toes. And when you do find a barefoot style wide toe box, generally they're barefoot shoes, which means they're not shaped or padded for optimal running. So Mount to Coast is the perfect combination of what you need to have healthy feet and fly on the treadmill. Speaking of which, let's test them out. Oh wow, this feels awesome. And they have this technology they call their GoFlow midsole geometry, which helps guide your stride, because I will take all of the guidance I can get. Oh, they are also pretty darn swell outside. And then for even more flexibility, you can adjust the midfoot and forefoot independently based on your personal cave foot need. And then their light cell material is 50% lighter than EVA and 45% more energy return. So yeah, I want to be as efficient as possible when I'm forcing myself to run. If you want a pair for yourself, I'll put a link in the description along with a promo code. So let's start training cardio together. And the reason that I'm starting to train cardio, I still can't officially announce, but let's just say I really want to punch up my stamina, if you know what I'm saying. Hint. Oop, I may have already said too much. Moving on to number 4. Now, if and when you do end up doing a reverse diet or bulk, you will quickly learn my 4th tip. Cutting is way easier, and I know that sounds crazy because who likes to diet? But really, bulking is hard because you have to be very thoughtful. You gotta get the right number of calories, eat quality foods, really have it dialed in so you don't just add a bunch of unhealthy weight. I felt like I had to work way harder when I was bulking. So if you go too far into a bulk, you gain fat. If you go too far into a diet, oops, you just got closer to your goal faster. When I was cutting, I could just not even closely track for multiple days in a row. Just really ballpark it. Have some drinks. Have several drinks. When losing weight, I can just make sure I'm under eating and I know I'm still headed towards my weight loss goal. I was very much less willy-nilly about bulking, although I guess I could just do a willy-nilly bulk phase. I believe the term is dirty bulk, but I'm sure all the bros will start saying willy-nilly after this video now. So as much as you might hate dieting right now, try reverse dieting, and then regular old dieting will seem super effortless, not just because of how fast it will go, but also because of how thoughtlessly you can do it. And now something else you should think less about. My fifth tip is ignore fluctuations. Now this is a two-parter. The first part is what I'm sure you've already heard before, but your weight and even your ZozoFit scans are going to go up and down. Hey, how about another fun graph? This is all of my weigh-ins from the start of my cut to the end, and it is a rocky road when you look at all of them. I would have been freaking out if I let myself care about all of those little bumps along the journey, but no, ignore. When you zoom out, that is a pretty consistent ride down, though there's still a bump. So even when you zoom out, don't freak out. Trust the process. If you're reverse dieting, add a small amount of calories and see what happens over a longer term, like a week or 2 weeks, then see if you can add more. Trust the system that you set up, not the tiny little inconsistent measurements ready to ruin your day. Same thing with losing weight. Sometimes you'll have an up day and that means nothing, just because maybe you're holding on to more water than normal that morning. So don't go giving up and say, I'll just have cake for breakfast. Now, the second part to ignoring fluctuations is how much you're lifting. When you're on a bulk, lifting is way easier. I got so many PRs in my bulk video, oh my goodness. Big Allie is so much stronger than puny low body fat Allie. So my cut felt crappy because I wasn't progressing on my lifts like I was before, but I have to keep telling myself that those are also bumps to ignore. Though on the other side of it, my cut did make gymnastics seem effortless. You may have seen it took me over 2 years to get a muscle up. Then after that, I still sucked at them. They were slow and ugly, and lots of times I would fail if I didn't rest a full week in between attempts. But after my cut, here's the day when I suddenly got 7 muscle ups. I baffled myself. Is this what it's like to do gymnastics on the moon? So now that I'm ending my cut, I'm gonna start reverse dieting, and I have to tell myself not to be mad at me when I can't get as many muscle ups in a day. It's not that I'm getting any less strong, it's just that there's more Allie to get up over the rings. Now these last 2 tips are my favorite because they're kind of hacks, but mostly awesome. I happened to do a treadmill desk challenge video for this channel during my cut, and I'm pretty darn sure that made my weight melt off even faster. If you have a desk job, I highly suggest accidentally getting your steps in with this method. It was easier and more fun and way more thoughtless than I ever expected. And you know I love thoughtless. I'll put a link in the description to the treadmill and the desk that I use below. And now we're on the final tip, which is the most thoughtless of all and the absolute best. The 8 Sleep mattress. It is so thoughtless that you are unconscious. Yes, I am talking about losing weight in your sleep. So this mattress is temperature controlled, and I set mine to go down to 63 degrees, and I'm convinced that this has been a huge contributor to the speed of my weight loss. I'm getting an extra metabolism boost from my body keeping itself warm at night. There's a study that shows sleeping in a 66-degree room improved people's metabolism. Sleeping cold works. And I know that sounds like, ugh, no, that would be uncomfortable, but no. I get more deep sleep. I wake up feeling better. It's not just about being cold, it's about being a consistent temperature. I didn't know how much being the wrong temperature and doing these little micro wake-ups were just ruining me throughout the night. You get too hot, pull them off, and then you're too cold and put it back on, then you gotta stick one leg out. Ugh. Not only could an 8 Sleep mattress be a metabolism booster for you, it will be a better sleep booster. And quality sleep is the most important thing for any fitness journey. Before you even think about nutrition or workouts, get your sleep in line. It is a legal performance-enhancing drug. Oh, and I also want to note, you have the flexibility to set yourself on fire to wake up. I love this because I don't have to hear an awful alarm, and because my bed is so hot that I actually want to eject myself in the morning and start my day. I will link to this magical mattress below because it is my #1 fitness tip in general, no matter what you're trying to do. Gain weight, lose weight, sports better, live forever, whatever. And if you like this, I know it's surprising, but go watch the most recent video on my art channel. I invented weightlifting painting, and as a fitness outrageous pally, I know this is one you're gonna love. It explains what's going on behind me and this whole outfit. I'll put that down there for you.
If you're worried about the end product.
I am worried about the end product. Oh no! Because I'm scared. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I want to create art by working out.